discussion. Link up. Yeah, man, just call the hotline right now. 876-440-9544. Hit me up on the WhatsApp line. If you think that man was right for what he did, or if you think that female was in the wrong, yeah, let me know. Talk to me, let me know what go on. You understand me? Who wrong from who right? Are the two of them wrong? So I want an honest opinion on that topic there, yeah? Yeah, man. Let me know. Cool? I know I'm going to get back into the musical juggling there. Going to look at more music, then vibe on for a bit, and then we're going to talk about the things them. Cool? Yes, man. Same way, so. Same way, so. As I say on Wednesday, you know it going on. We mix up a little bit and want to talk about some things. We want to get some things off our head. Straight and plain. Shout out to my peeps them out there on TikTok. Big up on yourself. You know the internet got a little unstable a while ago, but I saw it go. We are living in a reality right now whereas it's not a woman empowerment thing. The wrong messages are being read to the women of today. They might read the wrong message to you. May I be honest. Women out there, the wrong message is being chartered to your brain. Because you're not stable. Women out there, most of these women out there are not stable mentally. All when you not get the world, you have a problem. A lot of you women out there, mentally, you're not stable. Yeah, you can't comfortable none at all. It's like you want more, you want more. Like everything you want more. If you do something and you're in at the wrong, you're supposed to get the right. If the man do everything for you, you're supposed to still get more. You understand me? I say, no foreign women out there, who never born rich. Who never born with a gold spoon in on the mouth. And you feel say, who obligated for say certain things to a man and get away with it. Because at the end of the day, oh, the repercussion, if him do something to you, you can call the police and all of that. No. If it makes sense to you, when you go do something and you go taunt that man, the man will sit down at peace. Because if you don't understand, a man is a simple being. All a man need is a sense of peace and quiet. That is all a man need. For the women who don't know this. All a man need, simple peace and quiet. So you see when you're trouble in peace, you're in a trouble there, so. And as me say, I'm not the abusive type. But me now go stand up and make no woman put her hand on me. For no reason. You understand me? I love my peace. I'm not going to go toe to toe with a woman. I'm not going to fuss with a woman. I'm not going to put my hand on a woman. You understand me? I say I prefer walk away. But you see if me walk away and you still taunt, I'm not going to tell you I put my hand on you, but I'm going to find some way to put you down. I'm not going to put my hand on you physically, none at all. But me learn one thing. You see, words are powerful, you know. Words are very powerful. So me learn this long times, I guess so. You cannot hurt a woman physically. Because even when you hurt her physically, she's going to find herself to another man. We're going to provide the comfort. She's going to find herself to another man who are going to provide that level of comfort, that level of peace of mind what she need. She's going to do it, whether you like it or not. So you see, for me, I believe it's the best way for hurt a woman. I mean, I don't want a woman take me on right now about the situation. I just be honest. You see, if you poke the bear and the bear respond, that's up to you. If you poke the bear and the bear respond, ladies, that's your fault. You understand me? Because a man now go just get up and hit a woman. A real man who could just clarify the word. A real man not going to just get up and hit a woman. A man now go just take up a half a brick. Like, believe me, this is common sense. No man is going to just take up a half a brick and hit a woman across the face for no reason. And he's not mentally insane. Me why you really think about that? A man now go take up a half a brick, and hit a woman for no reason at all. That don't make sense. That don't spell sense. None at all. A man is not going to do that. It don't make any sense. I'm being honest with you. No man with a stable frame of mind is going to take up a half a brick and hit a woman, no matter what you think. Because as the story said that he asked her for her number. He asked her for her number. Okay. Hello.
Hello?
Good night, good night, good night.
Hi, good night.
Good night,
Hi,
miss.
DJ 50.
How are you? Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yes.
Okay, great.
So, as I was saying to you earlier, me make sure turn down all I want for turn down because I really need to get to the meat of the matter of this. I don't even want to play no music because it's bothering to me. As you said, the situation is that a female got hit across the face
Mm-hmm.
with a brick.
Yes, no less.
Now,
Wow.
as Jamaicans, we know one thing. There's three sides to a story.
Mm-hmm.
Your side, my side, and the
And the
truth.
truth.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, I was intrigued to do the follow up of this story.
Right.
So, I got a clipping, two clippings I saw.
Mm-hmm.
One was stating that the gentleman was provoked.
Okay.
Provocation led to him hitting her with the brick. Next to
Okay.
note, also finding out that this female is a lesbian.
Okay.
Then there was a next clipping stating that she's a troublemaker.
Okay.
She has always been a troublemaker, and I guess in some sense karma hit back. But as I said, I am not the man that no matter what, me not put my hand on a woman. No matter how she provoke
Mm-hmm.
me, there are means and ways to solve situation. And if she follow me up, really and truly, me know my means and ways to break her down. I don't have to hit her. Because for me, I believe that you can't hurt a woman physically. And before you say what you're gonna say, Simone,
Mm-hmm.
you can't hurt a woman physically. You have to hurt a woman mentally. Because you see, when you beat her up, some big up yourself, Papa. You can't hurt a woman physically because you see, when you beat her up, she go find comfort somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's a
Mm-hmm.
lie, I want to know. But when you beat her up, she go find somebody else to comfort her. But you see, when you break her mentally, it can scar her
Mm-hmm.
for life. That will
Right.
that will scar her for life. So I want to know, Sam, big up yourself. As I say, we have discussed the topic on the female that got hit with a brick across her face, as I said, because she didn't want to give her phone number to this man. If he was right or if she was in the wrong or both of them wrong. We have Simone over here. I won't tell you much about her for now because some mix up will come next week.
Mm-hmm.
All right, see there somebody say woman beat man mentally daily. See there? Simone, I want to hear your point of view on this topic. Go ahead, because the men are
All right.
listening.
So let you said earlier that there's always three sides to the story.
Yes.
In this case, it will be her side, then his side, and the truth. Now, this is the thing with social media. Everybody has the means necessary to highlight what they want to highlight.
Talk up
As a
into the phone,
woman,
Simone. Hold
I
on.
actually remember seeing the footage on Shade Room,
Hold on,
and
Simone.
I
Talk
just
up in the phone. Talk up
Mhm.
in the phone. Get a little closer to the phone.
Okay. Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Okay, so I was saying that when I saw her on Shade Room, as a woman, when I saw her swollen face, because it's like you could see the printout of the brick and how it swelled up her face. and she was standing up with her phone in front of some men or young youths and saying how to make them the man lick me in my face and nobody no do nothing, nobody no say nothing, nobody do you know. So at first I was thinking to myself, my God, the world, the planet really gone to the dogs because me growing up and going out as a woman, if a man disrespect me like that, I can guarantee that if the whole group of men do something that's there, at least one man are gonna do something or say something. So as a woman, when I saw that, it was very disheartening. But I do remember also reading a comment where the person said that she was the one that hit the man first. So
She was the
I saw
aggressor.
that comment. Hmm?
They say she was they're saying that she was the aggressor.
Right. So, and you're saying earlier that she's also a lesbian, so that would probably mean that she was maybe out there with her girlfriend, and maybe the man was being too aggressive himself um by looking her, and maybe she never liked that. You know what I mean? I don't know, I'm just assuming at this point. And I also hate assumptions, so I don't know what to say. But as a woman, I felt really bad because I just kept on visualizing a man taking up a brick and hitting a woman across her face just because she said, no, I don't want to give you my number. Is that where the world gone to now? Is that how ignorant and illiterate we as a people are? You know what I mean? So yeah, it's I have daughters. It's two daughters that God bless me with. So I would never want that to happen to them. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, but all right. Let us get to the meat of the matter, and we are gonna take it from just her alone. From her point of view. Now, there are a lot of women out there who are aggressors, whereas
True.
they will taunt and they will taunt a man up to the last brim just to see how he'll react to a
Mhm.
situation. And no
True.
matter how much that man try to back down, she will
Mhm.
keep on pushing and pushing and pushing, because the good thing about social media is that it has advertised a lot of these things. And what I proclaim the cause of this is that the word that these women are using is independent.
Right.
They are using the word independent loosely.
Mhm.
And because of such, the so-called hierarchy of women out there who are on that other level to say so-called independence, I don't need a man. A man
Mhm.
can't do this for me and a man can't do that for me. But yet still, when you call the plumber, who comes? When you call the
Well, it.
hold on, when you call the contractor, who comes? When you call
Mhm.
the person to clear your pit, who comes? When you call the person to paint your house, who comes? When you go to the mechanic, who is there? So
Right.
you look at the fact that you say you don't need a man any at all to do anything for you. So at the end of the day, you're justified in
Mhm.
saying what you want and doing what you want when it comes to a man. But yet
Right.
still, men are the pillar and the foundation of a stable home.
Mhm. A
Men,
man, a man, a man, a man who knows himself.
yes, a man who holds himself in high regard. So now this is it. All right, let me explain a situation, and I've seen it in person for myself. I remember one year there was a hurricane. It was hurricane season, and my virgin come home from work in the night. No light at all, no day in the house. No light,
Mhm.
not there on the block, none at all. So when he came home, him called me and said, Maurice, which part Trudy there? I say, you know, say me not see her, Papa. I say, all
Mhm.
right, here we go on. Him call her, And she said she there round the road. I said fine. She said she there around her cousin. I said cool. Not to big up herself on the chat. You know what? You're in a clear point of view on it, you know. But this is what I say. Now, him say, here what? Me could go hold a drink. I say, no problem. So me and him decide to go at the bar, go sit down and hold a drink and whether there a reason. So him call her again and say, which part you there? Because me there at the bar, me and Maurice sit down and hold a drink. Which part you there?
Right.
She said she soon forward. So him say, what the baby there? The baby there right, yes, man. And she said, him say, all right. Him said to me, say, Maurice, me not go call again. I could go walk. And as me said to you, light gone. Because you know when hurricane licking out, light chip out everywhere.
Yeah, man.
Now, she up on the gully bank. She up on a gully bank. Somewhere in Alman town. And where they were, there was a dead corner. So anything fly around the corner, you can't see it. It got just happen instant. So when we walk up on her, she dead in the dark with her cousin them and her friend them attack. So the first thing him said to her, I said, where the baby there? She said the baby there over there, so in the car asleep. So I realized that the look on him face change. There was a parked car near to that same corner where they were having a discussion. And the child lay down in the back seat of the car with the roof light on. So him say, here what go on. Me and Maurice go hold a drink and me a ground at the yard. Based on the look on him face, like I said, she read the look already. So I say, alright. Me I just go and drink my Guinness and bun a spliff and go and reason with the man. Now when I reach back at the yard with the man, me and him stand up there and reason and him say, Maurice. And him start cuss a bag of bad word and I say, imagine she left my daughter good bed round here so. From me call her the first time, all she did need for do was bring the child come, put the baby in the bed, and go back about her business. You have the child out there, the place dark, the car upon one dead corner, and the child want go to her bed, and this is about after 9. Now, when she finally reach, me realize the level of rage changed in him. So him approach her with how him come to me with a discussion and say, truly me not understand you. You tell me what's it not, and the baby have one bed, a good bed, round here so. Me call you the first time and say, where the baby there? Instead of you bring the baby come and put the baby here so. In the bed and go about your business, you sit down there so pan corner talk. So you know say the enrage reach a level till it start get physical. Lick start chew, weapon start draw. All me do is just take out every cutting instrument out of the yard from the cutlass to the knife then and go on my yard. And me listen to the beating the whole night. Now, now me I gotta be honest with you about this, and this is my point of view to this. You see, common sense rule overall when it comes to certain things. If you know a real man is very protective over him daughter. A real man is very protective over him daughter. Mark, big up yourself. I want to say big up to all of my listeners them out there. A real man is very protective when it comes to him daughter because, as you say, you have a daughter. I have a daughter. And me I gotta be honest, if our mother do certain things, it kind of peeve me. But me know how to deal with the situation different. But you see, the thing is that most of these men out there, we are not being given the respect that we deserve. And you see, because and some of these women think that because we are not on their level, they're supposed to say certain things. So, with that situation there where you have a bagger man, and this is reality, there's no way, I'm not lie, I see it on social media, but a lot of us don't know the backstory behind this situation. There's no way true. A bunch of man are going to stand up and watch a man take a half a brick unless him and
Mhm.
that woman was in an altercation or a two lovers will have them quarrel
Mhm.
and slap her across her face with that half a brick. And you hear what she say? Him just walk, go to him car and
Mhm.
drive off. That mean this man is not mentally insane. This man is a man that has common sense.
Right.
And she's bawling out and screaming out on social media. Now, this is the part where nobody has looked into. This man has not been arrested. And she has not filed a report.
Mhm.
Now, it must be a reason. It must be a reason, Simone, why this man has not been arrested and why a report has not been filed.
Facts. Mhm. True. True.
It must be a reason. And as me
Mhm.
say, I am not taking sides. But you
Mhm.
as a woman, you know this. There are women out there who are very
Mhm.
possessive with their behavior and how them
Right.
deal with men because them see it on the what you call it, the love and hip hop,
Mhm.
they see it on all these drama series. And from the Oprah come
Mhm.
right up, I've been telling them that women are supposed to be doing this, women are supposed to be in that. Like they're trying to live a everyday color purple situation, but that is
Mhm.
not the story. You're
Mhm.
attacking the wrong person.
I feel like the statement you just made, because you made some valid points.
Yes,
It has been going on for years. It's obviously a strategic agenda, and I'm going to keep it in the black family of
yes,
ours to actually separate and segregate black kings and black queens.
uh-huh.
So that has been going on for years now. So even the fact that you mentioned this whole independent situation, it's great to be independent and be self-sufficient and all of those things as a woman. But once you have a man or you have a husband or a king or whomever, and it's the trinity, man, woman, child in the household, you no longer look at yourself as, oh, I'm independent, I'm proud, I'm looking down on you, that type of thing. Those are the problems, you know what I mean? And I think a lot of households have so many single women growing up little boys.
Yes,
And even though women, yes, we've had to step up our games in a lot of situations, and we are strong, but we are not men, and a lot of us are not equipped to even teach these little boys growing up how it really means to be a man, because a lot of us are coming with our own baggage from salty relationships or abusive relationships or whatever, and we are teaching our boys and our girls from a selfish point of view, you know what I mean? So unfortunately, I don't know how we're going to do it, but it's a case of just getting that unit back together how it should be. You know what I mean? And I missed your topic last week, but when you were telling me about the whole topic about certain gender equalities and gender situations that's going on right now in regards to identification, even now if you go to a party and this happens and somebody takes a brick and hits you in the face,
yeah.
let's say that the girl was in the right position and she did nothing wrong. The bystanders now in this day and age are so confused within their identity that they're not going to want to step up because they don't know necessarily how they identify, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So men no longer probably want to take on that alpha role. Like, I'm a protector. They no longer see it necessary in this day and age to provide that to women because everybody is now equal. So if you are, you know what I mean? You have some women that are looking at you like, no, you don't need to open my door. What are you doing? I can do that myself. Or you have some men saying, well, I don't need, you know what I mean? So everything, the lines are so blurred right now that now when certain things happen and you are crying out for help
Yes.
from maybe the opposite sex, it's no longer an easy process because the lines are blurred. if that makes sense.
Okay.
You know
So
what I mean?
a question to you from one of our viewers is asking, as a woman, what is your definition of a man?
Um, my definition of a man is is opposite to me, or the opposite sex to me, one, and he's also innately a provider and a supporter of himself as well as his woman, or even if it's not his personal woman, the women around him. So it could be his mother, his sister, his daughters, whomever. He has those innate qualities to provide, to support, to be there, to work, to do what he needs to do for his family. I'm very old school. um, and I feel like the woman should be able to stand beside the man as his equal, but at the same time be able to support, provide when needs be as well, and be there as his reflection, if that makes sense. You know
True.
what I mean?
True.
Yeah.
Well, you said something, and it's something that I gathered to. The original structure of the black household has changed.
Yes.
The demographic of the black household has changed, and
Mhm.
I also believe that this is one of the major problems because all right, I remember in my relationship, I remember a statement was made to my spouse father that like our like daddy asks, you know. So apparently she was staying with her father, and the question was asked. Um, she must did want, you know, buy something, and asked, and her father said, like she must, he did want something, and she said, you know, me not have no money. So her father said, then Maurice not gain no money.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
his statement to her was, and this is a structure that I've heard so much from older men. They say
Right.
that back in the days when them work and them get pay,
Mhm.
them come in and them give the wife everything.
Right.
You see me? Them give her everything because she have to go make sure deal with the bills, deal with the food, yada yada, and everything in the household.
Mhm.
Right? That is how they were raised. That
Yes.
you work, you bring your whole paycheck and you give it to her.
Mhm.
But whatever you work on the side outside of your standard pay, that's yours. Right?
Right. Mhm.
Now to be honest,
Mhm.
me against that.
Mhm.
Because the character of the nowadays woman comparing to
Mhm.
the women back then, the women back then were humble. Like when I
Right.
say humble, it goes as far as this. Back in the days when you go to a get together, right?
Mhm.
As a as a viewer said, this was before the internet. But back in the days when you go to a family get together, you see the demographic difference, whereas the men have their corner
Mhm.
and the women have their area and the kids them have them area. Whereas there's an invisible line. The kids don't come nowhere near the adults come play.
Mhm. Everyone knew their role.
Yeah, the men sit in their area, they smoke their cigars, smoke them weed, them sit down, play domino, them have them discussion. You now have a woman round the domino table there. You now have a woman round the checkers board there. She gonna stay over there, so with the ladies, gossiping, talking until they say, alright, it's food time. Nowadays, a woman want incorporate herself in everything.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna say you have the men out there who are not, they're not pulling them, them not pull them weight.
Right.
You understand me? They're not. Basically, you have in society at least say 60% of the men are behind bars. 20% of them sell them liquor behind, and the other
Mhm.
percentage, Well, let's wean it down to maybe the 15% of us who still have we head pan with body and still a try stay consciously to survive. Now,
Right.
when we say the structure of the household, the black household has changed, and as our viewer said before the internet, why I say this because we grew up like this. In a black household, mommy teach the girls them how to wash, cook, and clean.
Right.
Daddy teach the boys them make sure the yard straighten up, make sure this put together. Certain things always in order. So because alright, for me as a man, me not have to depend on a woman for do certain things. Me depend on her for comfort, for the little joy, the love and caress, and for give me the stable conversation there when needed. You understand me? But
Of course.
not to personify herself for dictate and tell me say here what she think this is how it go because she more educated than me, or she think that because of her age she has a vast knowledge than me. Back then it was never like that. It was let us sit down and discuss the circumstances of these situations. Let us acknowledge, all right, Simone, you come home, darling, dear. How was the day? It was good, Maurice. And you discuss a situation and you say, all right, honey, I see something in the house and it's not sitting right with me any at all. Instead of getting up and I being an aggressor, I said, how can we solve the situation? How
Right.
can we assess the situation? That is not the situation anymore because it has also created a split warfare inside the house, whereas she will say, oh, I'm the one paying all these bills. All right, for instance, Tyler Perry has embarked a lot of this on our visual
Film.
screens, whereas he's putting women on a pedestal, whereas a lot of them, the Tyler Perry and the Steve Harvey, I'm not saying these men don't provide words of wisdom, but this is what a lot of people don't look at. When the camera lights them close off, these men have to go back into reality.
Right.
Because if the situation was that this female had hit this man with the brick, Daniel Brooks, big up yourself in the building. If the situation was that the female had hit this man with the brick, what would the turnout be with this situation? If this
He would
female,
have been arrested a long time. Well, I mean, she would have probably. There would be a reason for that. You know what I mean? There would have been some type of the man was aggressive, or she was defending herself, self defense, or I don't know. I'm not sure. I
no,
don't know if
but
it would have played
listen,
out this way.
I have seen situations where as females like them put them hand per man because them feel say them in at the right.
Right. Or
I,
them, yeah, them put them hand on the man, and when the man them lick them back,
yeah,
especially when it's caught on
she
camera, they expect the comments to be like, "How dare he?" But not understanding that you have invaded this person's space. Depending, it doesn't matter of the difference of sex.
yeah, she
Why
cry
are you
wolf.
putting your hands on this man?
She
Exactly.
she cry wolf. She quick for cry wolf. We have Mr. Brooks on the line. Mr. Brooks, good night, sir.
Yo, yo, yo.
Respect. We have Miss Simone, Miss Spoken Words here with us.
Big
Um,
up yourself, Mr. Brooks.
Oh, man, say,
as you know, the topic, the topic
hello,
at
hello, hello.
yes, we are hearing you.
Yeah, yeah, here.
All right. As you know, the topic at hand, and I definitely want your point of view is this current situation that we see on social media, where this female was hit in the face with a brick, and as we said, Jamaican people know how the story go. Three sides to a story: your side, my side, and the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And based on the review that I've done, is that she was the aggressor. She provoked the man because there's no way, as me say, a man in front of a bag of man a go lick one woman with a half fabric and just walk off in him car and nobody say nothing. Now, you being a man that was, as me say, me I gotta use the word, sir, was out in the world, and you are coming from um, a place of humble beginnings until you have reaped the rewards of your success. So I know you have encountered females of different magnitude in this situation. So what's your feedback on this situation here?
All right. So, um, let me start off um by say by saying I'm not 100% sure of the context because I haven't seen the video that is in question. But I will ask questions first. In the video, did the woman put her hand on the back?
No, they didn't show the part where she was being hit.
A physical aggressor.
No.
Is it reported that she was physically attacking him?
All right. What happened was that she was the one who went live. She had posted a video, about 3 or 4 different videos, stating, this is before anybody came out, stating that she was hit in the face with a brick by a man, and everybody just sat there as men and not say anything. I saw a piece of that video whereas the men were there just looking at her. Then I said, you know what, let me dig deep into this situation to see what is really taking place. So when I dug deep into it, videos came up. Whereas there was a young man saying, all right, he knows her. And what she's saying was that it don't make sense because she was the aggressor.
Yeah, but the aggressor in what way?
Alright.
Was she physically aggressive or was she verbally aggressive?
All right, she was verbally aggressive because, all right, first and foremost, what I found out is that she is a lesbian. One,
Okay.
two, she was provoking the man because, as I say, I look in between it and say something don't make sense, but finding out she was provoking the man, and then thirdly is that she's a troublemaker in sense. So to my viewpoint, I'm saying that, well, them say when Quaco, when trouble catch your pitney
Well,
shot, fit you.
well, when trouble take your fitness shot with you. I'll say this much, right? Based on everything you said, that then the man can't get any right anyway. Because the reality is, it doesn't matter what a person says to verbally provoke you. It doesn't justify your returning the verbal harassment with physical aggression. Yeah, physical aggression is an appropriate response to physical attack. But physical aggression is never a proven response to verbal attacks. If you have the mental fortitude, then and you're not able to handle the verbal attacks because of your own failures mentally or your own insecurities, then that doesn't justify your action. While one might understand that the man was under pressure and him can't manage the pressure and react. One might understand but can't justify. I can't justify that. You're wrong. If a woman, I don't care what a woman says, and we all know women can be very. They cut with them. They cut. Their words can cut because women use their strength with their mouth. Right? They might not be physically strong than you, but they can verbally strong than you. But as a man, you're supposed to know yourself and know say yo. These are the kind of things that get men into so much trouble because they pretend to be strong. Yes. They're not. They're not mentally strong. And other men say other things to you that offend you. And because you don't know yourself, and because you're not secure in yourself, you take the offense or you take boosting from other people and they make people hype you up and get yourself into problems. Because now he's going to face a charge. Right? That's an assault charge right there. And you cannot vouch, you cannot cry self-defense or say that a person was verbally harassing you. You're verbally harassing you to go to the police and report the harassment. But or if someone even verbally threatens you, to go to the police to report the threat,
So
you even have no right in the situation whatsoever.
so not to cut you, Mr. Brooks. One of our viewers state there's a clip of her smacking him in the face.
Okay, well that's why I ask you the questions. No, if the woman smacked the man in the face, did she smack him with her hand or with a weapon?
No,
See,
she.
I never
it's,
I never know, but well, I guess she smack him with her hands.
all right, once more, I go back to the same thing, an equal and opposite reaction, right? It cannot be justified that a person smack you with their hand and you take up a full concrete brick, a weapon, and smack that person in their face in retaliation. That's unusual and excessive force. It's
I
like a
agree.
policeman. It's like you putting your hand on a policeman and pushing him off. And then take out him gun and shoot you. And say, well, the person put him hand on me, so I'm shoot them.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
you can't do that. A policeman is not supposed to do that. And we said one, went to ball and said the police abuse the person because they never have to shoot the person never take out a gun. It's just a stick him up in him hand and beat the police with a stick a little one lick, not justify you shooting the man and killing him. We said when we say that in that situation, so it has to apply when you put it in another context. It has to be
Yeah.
a fair and equal response to the attack. A person, even the boxer down with him hand, I could have said, why my probably wasn't right with the decision, but it was justified because she boxed you with fear hand. And she would have to take that. But for you to go and draw a brick, to come for you to have the for lack of a better term, for you to preemptively go and take up a brick and then intentively lick this one in her face with it. That boy, brother, you
So
can't justify it.
maybe if he had a gun, maybe he would have used it on her because the
Quite
anger
possibly.
the anger that he must have felt for him to take a brick and hit her. Because let's be fair, a brick could have killed her as well. You know what I mean?
Precisely.
So I mean, I just it's like I would love to see the full story. That's why I was saying initially. Sometimes on social media, you keep on seeing these bits and pieces.
Yes.
And when she had the phone up and she was looking on the boys at the back behind her and say, and then I met the man hit me with a brick and none of you did anything. None of you said anything. And all they said behind was like, what do you want us to do? What would you want us to do? You know what I mean? So
No.
I was saying to myself, if in fact she was the aggressor and
Yes.
she was causing problems, why didn't they point that out as well? For her to be so
Sometimes people
justified.
mind their own business, Sometimes people just mind their own business, I mean,
All
quite,
right.
quite frankly, in some cases, some people, when people know what's going on, people just mind their own business. Nowadays, we live in social media era. People are more willing to take out a phone and record than to step in and assist.
All right.
Of
Right?
course,
People
I
want
understand that.
content. It's all
No.
about content.
No. Let me give you a flip. Let me give you a flip of this situation. Couple months ago, I don't know if you remember, the situation where a 14-year-old had gunned down a man in a food restaurant because his mother was hit by this man, and she called her son who was sitting in the car to get the gun and shoot this man. Right? Now, now this is what I'm gonna state with you with base off the situation that we're explaining and what happened the other day, about a month ago or so. Now, they were both in the restaurant. Remember, say, when you go to a restaurant and you go for go buy food, you go for go buy food. You see, when a man hungry, right? Now,
Mm-hmm.
remember, she went to the same restaurant to go buy food. Your son is inside the vehicle. That means both are not hungry, so you go for get food. Whatever started the conversation, the man was saying to her, say, Miss, let me put in a Jamaican terms. In basically, I tell her, I say, just humble yourself. Just relax. And she became the aggressor verbally, and she kept on going up in his face. And the man was like, just back off, no, miss. Just come out of my space. Just Bill, get your food and go. But she got louder, and she was up in his face, up in his face, up in this man's face. And the man said to her, I say, Is if you not come out of my face, me I go lick you, you know. And he kept on telling her, leave me alone. Just back up and come out of my face. Get your food and go. And she became so verbally aggressive, she went right up in at the man's face. Now, what I have learned is that, you see, when somebody invade your space, they might invade it to give trouble. And she more than invaded this man's face. So what happened? The man basically slapped the shit out of her. The man slapped the shit out of her about 2 times, and what she did was text her son in the car, say, bring the gun, come. And shoot the man. The man dead in a cold blood right there, and nothing came out of them, says self-defense. Now, how, yes, Natty, yes, I actually saw the video, saw how everything began, because the man was there in the line with her also. And like, you know, as me say, oh, you mean say I saw it go? Oh, no need for tell me because me see the story too. But as me said, the man basically tell her come out time space. But why in the first place would she resort to telling her son figure get a gun, figure shoot the man? The man.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a very, 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 very valid question.
Yes.
Do you think that do you think that he regretted hitting her?
Well, him dead now, so I mean,
I mean, had he, or would you say that in hindsight it was a bad decision to hit her?
all right. You see, me as a man, me I gotta be honest with you. Me hate provocation, but me know for walk with. You understand me? I know to walk with. But you see, you have some men out there where them fuse very short. When me say them fuse is so short, yeah, like not even matches can light them as fast. Them fuse is so short. You know, them just need one little flint, and I eat that. Especially in America, the whole heap of them man who you see, have some of them who are former army vets who have mental problem. You have some of them who go through some things where daily in and out, and you don't know, as me say, let's put the factor of a human being. You don't know what these persons are going through. And as me say, you're in a restaurant, you go for food. You understand me? You go to get food.
I was going to say that in a moment. We have to be cognizant and aware of the fact that mental health in our society right now.
Oh, talk up into the phone, Simone. Get closer to the phone.
No, I was saying that mental health, the point that you made about mental health is so, it plays such a big factor in the world that we live in right now, especially for our people, black people, because to me it's like, you really don't know what's going on. You have to be careful. So just like what you said, it's better you walk away, because if you are of sane mind and you're dealing with a stranger and you really don't know where their mindset is, it's hard to put your ego down and walk away. But sometimes you just have to do that, because what she did, even if she has a mental illness, you know, she was very strategic in calling her 14-year-old son
to get a gun.
Hey, take the gun and shoot him, because she knows that even where the law is concerned, one, she's a woman,
and two, she's going to get the right.
She's going to get her minor to do it for her.
So him get right off.
Right. So even just legally, they have them have a bag of food for stand on.
And that was I believe that was strategically planned, because the son got him get off of the charge.
There you go.
He got right off the charge, because in the first place. Go ahead, Daniel.
So when I ask the question if in hindsight it was a good decision, you don't answer the question. In hindsight, having looked back at what happened, was it a good decision that he made?
A bad one.
He made a bad decision.
All right, and see, that is what I'm trying to get to. I'm trying to get to the fact that what happens is that a lot of times our men react. Men, we tend to react,
Yeah.
right? We don't tend to act. We don't tend to think through the possibilities. We just act because everybody think them bad. And we have and I've always said this, we live, I said this to people all the time, and people disagree with me all the time. But the truth is, Jamaica, let's talk about Jamaica specifically, and we can talk about black culture as well, in America. Um, in certain communities. Jamaica and certain black cultures in America has a culture of criminality, right? A culture of violence and a culture of criminality. And you know it, you see it, because when you look at the number one songs in our country, those number one songs are songs that promote criminality and violence. Songs that are number ones are songs that talk about scamming, killing people, defending your turf, badness, right?
Mm-hmm.
and and so that is what we portray as a people. And so we can't and when I say it to people all the time, say, boy, I find it weird how Jamaicans love to talk about them want peace, but them love to sing the song that the worst songs, murder your liquor bread up on your funeral day, which is the worst thing you could say. And then with the same mouth say, yeah man, we love peace and we love love and we love God, right? um, the truth is, we are a very violent set of people, and we project this to our people through music and to our general culture, and we expect that they won't live it. You get me? It's important that as men, um, we we stop, think, and act, not just react to a situation. Because when you react to situations, you end up saying things like, "I shouldn't have done that." Right? But if you sat down and thought about the situation, you just said to yourself, okay, a lot of things could happen from this. Let me walk away. Right? The fact is, that man, I don't know him. I don't know where him come from. But him dash him give him 3 points. As you'd say in the streets, him give him 3 points. Right? Because he put himself in that situation.
Okay.
He could have easily avoided that situation by not being the aggressor physically or starting a physical
But
altercation.
but
Make it talk. I've
but
learned that.
about
I've learned that.
okay.
Oh yes.
But this are the part
Talk about
no,
the
and
talk.
Simone said something about this earlier. You see, women, and we're going back to this situation with this brick situation also. Women know the trigger words, especially when they get furious or when they think that the world is at the tip of their finger. They say what they feel to say, they do what they feel to do without remorse. And they don't
Trigger.
and
Trigger. What do you mean by trigger words? Can you explain that? That's a bit more.
alright, put it like this. As me say, women will say some things and them know say at the end of the day it can cause a reaction. It's two things, it can break you down and it can make you get angry. If a woman look
So you're saying is a woman make you angry, or you
Uh,
choose to become angry?
no, listen what I'm saying. It's same way you can be in a relationship, right? And you love
Mm-hmm.
this person, go to day, go right back to bed. You understand me? And this person knows everything about you. You have spoken of your
Mm-hmm.
past, you have spoken of your hurt, the things you go through, and then all of a sudden one day she decides she in her mood, and all you did was try to calm the situation. And with doing that, she either bring up something where she know it is very hurtful to you, and she know the reaction with I got cause.
Mm-hmm.
Because she just say it now because at will our state of mind is like, I don't give a F right now. Anything come out my mouth, me say it. As me hear enough Jamaican women say it. Or these American females, yo,
Mm-hmm.
it's my mouth. Anything I want to say, I say. Thump me in my
Mm-hmm.
mouth. You understand me? Now, as we've been saying also, the mental situation is this. And we're gonna go back to Eve with the brick situation, whereas you have a bunch of man stand up there so and them see she gets slapped across the face with a brick. As somebody has say, as Miss Keisha was saying on the live stream, she said there's a clip showing where she hit the man. She hit the
Mm-hmm.
man, plus after she hit the man, she have taunt the man. She was taunting this man. Some of us men,
Mm-hmm.
we ego and we emotion, we're very emotional, whereas we're weak in a that structure, whereas we not have no play mentally, whereas nobody is there to guide us and talk to us through what we are go through any at all. So for
Mm-hmm.
him resorting at the way whereas how him grew up, how him learn, and maybe it is a situation him know say, yo, as a man, me not take shit from no woman none at all. And she made the worst mistake was hit me in the face. No man not gonna make a woman lick him in the face and I'm gonna say, oh, I'm gonna call the police. No, him a gonna knock down her ass.
Well, I beg to differ. I would. I'll share a story with you. I terminated an employee, a female employee, some years ago, many years ago. Hold on. What 10 years ago? I remember terminating a female employee, and she attacked me physically. Um, and this was on a production floor. Surrounded by lots of people in the office, and and so she was terminated, and then she spoke to somebody who worked at the office. She was outside the office. Um, one of the security guards. She told my story that she was going back just to go get something, and she came back in and attacked me, lunged at me, and I was standing in the middle of the office space, my laptop in my hand, and she swung at me twice. I dodged the swings, and then she grabbed onto my shirt. And she grabbed onto my shirt. She started swinging at me, and the security guy came in to assist. And she started swinging blows towards me. You know what I did? I put my hand behind my back. You know why I did that? Because if I retaliated by trying to hit her back or defend myself in that context, it would have been a fight. You see, with my hands behind my back, it's a clear assault. And I know that there are cameras in the building. And right after she did what she did, and my laptop fall, I actually needed a new laptop, so I made sure it fell. I went up to the police station, and I filed my report for common assault, knowing that I could get a considerable sum of money from this situation.
Of course, personal injury and a bag of things. There's even a civil case, and you're a very strong man.
And what I knew would happen as well is that this would follow her. I know what I did. I called the young lady, and I said to her, "I filed a report, and I'm letting you know this right now that this will follow you for the rest of your life. Everywhere else you go for a job, on your record, they'll know that you attacked your boss when you were fired, and nobody got hired for that. So you have a choice. You see your last pay." You either make me keep it and buy back my laptop, and you leave this company, never ever speak of us ever again. Don't speak ill. Don't let me hear anything about you. Or that police report is going to continue into a charge. I never heard back from her again.
No,
that was the end of it.
No,
you see, that's what I'm talking. So I'm saying that's what I'm talking when I say you can think clearly. You cannot say that because of your insecurities, someone has made you act. You are responsible for your own actions, and as a man, when you learn that, it will take you far in life when you recognize that you are responsible for your own actions. Now, I understand what you're saying, that a lot of people are weak, but that does not justify their actions. You cannot justify your actions with your own weaknesses. If you're weak, then you need to accept that you're wrong in your weak actions, and you need to become better. Be better.
No, this is where me I got challenge you on this situation. And Simone, I hear clearly what me I say. You can hear me clearly?
Yeah, man, listening loud and clear.
Now, first and foremost, one of the reasons why, and this is my viewpoint. One, And I myself in this position would think the same. One, you're in a senior position, so no matter how the situation play out, you have to stay professional right through.
Every man is in a senior position when it comes to a woman.
No. Hold on. As me say, we just digging. We are dig with the fact of the workplace. You are the senior personnel, work wise. As me say, you are engaged to the situation whereas you give out and distribute instructions and you are entitled to fire and hire. So you're in a senior position whereas in reference, even if it was a male, you have to have that ordinance of professionalism throughout the situation until the door is closed. It's just like when with the high school, and if me a prefect and you spitting on my face or do something, me only I whisper to your member say when school over.
But I wouldn't come
No, me
on.
just I said, that's what I know. That's what I know. I'm just
Mm.
saying. But on the next note, as me say, you're in a professional position. For me, it's the same thing, and I've encountered things like these. I would have to stay in the professional frame of mind because one, I have others looking upon me, which is at the end of the day, I have to show that sense of leadership right through. Cause I must say, blood nut. They know Daniel and Liquor, if I did me lick down the gear a long time. But at the end of the day, what is going to happen to Daniel? Daniel's going to lose his job. One. Two, she is going to lose her job. Plus, she can file an assault charge against Daniel because he actually reacted. So two, at the end of the day, Daniel don't come out the winner, none at all. She come out the loser, plus she still wins same way. You understand me? So it become a drawn out situation. But this is what I'm saying in our everyday situation. Otherwise, from the sense of mental health, the mental health situation out there, you see a lot of us men, we don't have the time for take bullshit anymore. Like really and truly, we don't have the time to take. We already have faced the situation where women feel like say them a conquer the world and them a take over. I respect a professional woman. I like a woman who can turn me on intellectually, not sexually. Make we talk about some big things and talk about some current affairs. Tickle me fancy with big words.
Usually it's the sapiosexual.
You see me? Use let us talk
It's
about.
great
No,
to
I'm
have
just saying. Me say that.
sapiosexuals. My partner is a sapio. Maurice, can I intervene a little bit? All
Yes.
right.
Talk up in the talk up in the phone, my dear.
My phone obviously has that issue. You can hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I was just about to say, like, I hear what you're saying, Maurice, and I can understand where you're coming from, and I think a lot of men share your opinion.
Mhm.
But I also understand what Mr. Brooks is saying as well. So where I am right now as a woman, especially a woman living in Jamaica, we've all seen on the media the widespread violence towards women.
Yes.
And I don't know if that is because men are honestly feeling like there's such a rift between men and women right now.
Mhm.
That if there's like this underlined resentment and hatred towards the women. You know what I
Well,
mean?
well,
And then the women are having this I'm above you situation. You can't help me if you can't give me a certain. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is, and it's obviously
well,
some hidden agenda that has been strategically placed, and it's actually messing us up as a people. And I don't think that we're seeing and understanding this because what Mr. Brooks is saying is that as a man, you really have to know yourself and know your power as a man. And don't get it twisted. Women, no matter how we go on and show off ourselves, when a man can assert his power the right way without aggression and without wanting to lick us down or whatever, but still be a man, and stand up in his worth,
Yes.
there's nothing more sexier than that. There's nothing more um respectable than that. Anyway, where I'm concerned, you know what I mean. So I think men need to go back to their core, and women, we need to go back to our core. How that's going to happen, because we're so far detached
Yeah.
to what it is, what used to be the real essence
Close the
of what
phone
a
then.
woman is supposed to be and what a man is supposed to be.
Close the
We
phone and
really
lock
need
off the
to
TV.
learn. We really need to learn that.
Close the phone, lock off the TV.
Who,
Well,
me?
I mean, to,
Oh,
Close the
I
phone,
mean,
lock off the TV.
to me, I mean, yes, there are a couple of things you said there. I wanted to address. No, you mentioned the the significance of the rise in men attacking women, right? Or being aggressive towards women.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
And I'll say this. Have men are violent. It doesn't matter if it's women. Men have become more and more aggressive
Wait,
and
wait,
more
Daniel.
violent.
If Daniel, hold on there.
Not just
Daniel, just a pause.
Not just towards
One
women.
of our viewers was saying a lot of women would take that as his weakness and abuse the situation. So continue.
take what as his weakness and abuse situation.
As Simone was describing, the man that represents as a man, like a man. All right. For instance, a man of your stature, and I know you, Daniel. You understand me? We have had our disagreements.
Uh-huh.
We have had our friendship for years, and I know you. And I've seen situations where females have been aggressors towards you, and you walk off, with your head up in the air and your tail wagging like, you're good. And you just step
All
inside
right.
your beamer
For
and you
example,
drove off.
Strong man, strong man.
so for the many years you know me, right?
Yes.
For many years you know me in the streets, Kingston or Portmore. I think I've only had a beef with one person, right? One person that we know, where I not deal with them, they not deal with me for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And that happened for a little while, I believe, a little bit over a month or maybe 2 months. And you know what ended that one beef, that only beef ever, like I'll say serious
Mm-hmm.
beef, where I could say that person was, I not deal with them. It was, I remember it was New Year's Eve night. I think you were there at a bar, the bar by, that's in the little plaza. I don't remember the name of the bar. You remember the name of the bar? You know the name of the bar, right?
Go ahead.
And and I remember I was at my house New Year's Eve, and I'm thinking to myself, why do I have an enemy? This don't make sense. Why am I going to New Year with someone that I can say I don't deal with them don't deal with me? This don't make sense. This. And I remember taking a bottle of Ciroc that I had in my house, and I called the person. The person was surprised to hear my voice calling their phone, and
Yeah.
I said, "Where are you?" They said they're at the bar, and I drove there. I drove to the bar with, and I've seen him and him brother, and I see some other guys there. I'm not sure if you were there.
I was
Uh,
actually there. I remember that. I remember
yeah,
that
and I
night,
remember,
and
and I remember
kinda.
I came. You remember? So you were there. So you remember I came to the bar. I went in, asked him for a couple of glasses, and I took the bottle of Ciroc out to them, and I said, "Look, I'm not going to New Year with anyone outside me. So whatever it is that we have, this beef that we have, let us drink this bottle of Ciroc until we forget it all. We move forward as bigger men, right?" You see, the reason I did that is the same reason why the same thing that it governs my actions. You have to think about the pros and the cons. What are the
Yes.
benefits of this thing, and what are the detractors? Now, I'll tell you this right now. I'll tell you this right now. If he had said, "No, I don't want to eat you," then I would have washed my hands of it and known that, look, I tried. I have to leave it alone there.
Mhm.
Now, the same thing would apply with a woman. If I'm with a woman and I am being a good man to her and she can't appreciate that, I just know that this is not the woman for me. I wash my hands of the situation.
Yeah.
So there's no situation where a woman will take advantage of it. Right? That is what, no, I'm married, and as a man, I apologize to my wife if I raise my voice, because I'm speaking to her and she said I raised my voice because we're having a disagreement. I apologize to my wife for raising my voice, because why would I raise my voice to the woman that's my wife? See, the truth is, my wife is someone that by marrying her, I've said that I am willing to die for you, which means I'm willing to give up my life for you. So if I'm willing to give up my life for you, what is there that is bigger that I'm not willing to give up? I'm willing to give up raising my voice. I'm willing to give up all these other foolishness because
Wow.
none of it can
Love, love,
compare to my
love.
life. Right? You see, does that make me a weak man? No, it doesn't, because I know the woman I'm doing making a sacrifice for. And I know that she will not abuse that, because I know the woman I chose to marry. Now, if you chose a wrong woman, and you see the signs that you are being a good man to her and she's abusing it, then you need to sympathize with that. Don't put yourself in that situation in the first place. Chat, the problem is not for the money I go out there for look woman, because they want to look for pretty looks, and they're not looking for a good woman.
Yes.
You know what I say? That is the situation that a lot of these men get themselves into, and then you have to live with the consequences of your choices and your own actions. So you want to do things and not live with the consequences, and then try to justify their weaknesses. And as I've said before, we need to do better. As men, we need to do better. I get it. Some of us are not strong. Get stronger. Don't just sit there and say, well, I'm not strong, so I'm just going to be weak. No, be better. And don't expect other people to justify your weakness
No.
because you refuse to become better.
Now, on that, I've been listening and I've run into a deep hole with my state of mind on that process of your discussion, right? Based on research, um, the suicidal rate for men suffering from depression is about 80%. And that is in society worldwide. 80% from,
Our men.
of men from depression, right? Now, there is so many space, because there's been an integration of the situation. There's so many space created for women on a worldwide stance for mental issue. Now,
They are just as much for men. Don't
no,
even go down
no,
that road.
hold
Let me tell
on.
you this. They are
Wait,
just
well,
as much for
wait
men.
now,
The
wait
problem
now.
is that
Wait
the
now,
problem
wait now,
is
wait now, wait now.
just
Let me get it.
cut you off
Me I go
there. They are
get you.
just as much for men.
But let me get it to you this. As I say, this is upon research. As I said, there is as much for men, but if you as a man, you know this growing up. You see, therapy no work for men. Sitting in front
Yes, it
of,
does.
no, hold on, I want you listen to what me I say. Just listen to what me I say. For most men, sitting in front of a therapist, it don't work. I'm gonna explain to you.
Most men haven't even tried. That's
Wait,
the
no,
problem.
no, no, no,
Most men
no.
don't even want to go to the therapist in the
Just listen when
first
me, just
place.
wait now. I want you listen what me I say, and then me I make you say what I say. And I want you hear what me I say, Simone, and I want you tell me if a truth me I talk. Listeners, viewers, hear what me I say. If you understand and realize when most men speak them problems, barbershop, camping with them friends, at the bar, social get together with for those of their peers. For me, I gotta tell you this. For me and a lot of men that I've met in society, and even on listening to different views on the social media stands on different platforms, a lot of men they have indulging letting out in front of strangers, because you see some of them when they got therapy, the therapist are pick your brain. A therapist is picking your brain for find out and understand. So when you sit down at the barber shop, you have been engaged in a discussion that is relative to what you're going through. You know, tell a man in the barber shop what you go through, But the discussions that have provided itself You say to yourself, say, but then I mean that. Which enables you to speak out and feeling comfortable in your own circle of peers. You understand me? You go up and look how much, alright, most of the time, alright, for us as men, and you to Daniel, you see to a whole heap of we use it when we sit on a Q plus, we sit on a fresh and then place and hang out. And we as just men, no females, sitting and drinking and smoke. And most of the men them we sit down with them have women who not married, are fathers and thing. And we will sit there for hours. And it's not meaningless discussions. We sit there for hours and we let out everything. We unleash and unravel everything within ourselves. And we live and feel at peace. Because of the gathering of our peers. And not realizing that, but me and Daniela got through the same thing. Me and Omar got through the same thing. Me and Marcella got through the same thing. Me never know. But because they have conduct themselves in a circle of their own peers for discuss these things. You remember, if you realize the rate during COVID, the abuse rate went up, you know. The abuse rate went up during COVID
And
because
what is that symptomatic of? What does that represent? What does that show you?
no,
That abuse rate went up?
what I'm showing you is that, alright, men, a lot of men love their space. We love with time. Our time for be ourself. We say it's not say we don't have a problem being fathers. We don't have a problem working 9 to 5 and being the structured male that society has embodied us to be. That which is crafted out by God to say, this is your job as a man. But when you engage in a situation sometime whereas it's not say peer pressure, but you look at it, and I'm saying this, Simone, whereas you look at it, you're locking at your house 24/7 with your kids them or with your lady. You're not able to provide because a situation that take place. It start take a toll upon you mentally because you say, how am I going to provide for my child? How am I going to provide for my family? Plus you have the regular day in, day out situation like when you're there at work, I work your 9 to 5, what take place a yard, it not really concern it now bother you because you are on a focus level to get things sorted out there. When you go home, you expect your dinner, you expect a peace of mind and the comfort between you and your wife. If one is a working couple, you expect the same. But when the two are entangled at home and you as a man where you're used to going out there and work, and when you leave work, you know, say, here what, honey, I'm going to stop and link Daniel, you know. We're going to eat two, swim around, and we're going to hold two discussion. No problem. But when you wake up in the morning, you don't have nothing productive to do. You go back on your bed, you're there home the whole day, you don't have nothing productive except for sweep the yard and just do the same thing over and over every day. It becomes a bit, as I say, it becomes a bit frustrating. And then I can tell you a lot of women, when they reach for them level of frustration, they don't give a damn about you. They do not. No matter how strong you be as a man and how much you do inside of the household. And me, I tell you this half a reality. You understand me? Me not tell you this half a next man's story. No matter how much you do, you don't get that appreciation. And when you sit down as a man and you say to yourself, say, yo, then when me I do wrong? My youth alright, the bills them pay, me make sure say alright and all of that. Things just slow down a bit, and not my fault. It's not my fault because I can't go against the government and I can't go against society. I cannot take COVID and push it in a hole. I cannot take what is taken in the place and in the world and hide it. Me can't go to Andrew Holness and tell him, say, yo, Papa, you have to go stop the curfew because me have to go out there and work and make sure my family are alright. Some women are not going to look into that. They are going to look into that and say, yo, you become non-progressive right now because you're at home every day. And it is frustrating her as well because she can't do certain things and it's not say she not love you and all of that. But it starts become frustrating and fatiguing on both ends. Go ahead.
So, so, so you say that to say what?
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying
You
is
say,
that as you hear, pressure bust pipe. Remember the saying there, pressure bust pipe. There's so much a person can take and no more. There is
okay,
so
so
much. As me say, alright, you're a married man, and I respect the love that you have with your wife. As a viewer say, it goes back to, as I say, it's the woman you choose. But sometimes, as me say,
precisely.
There you
pressure.
go.
Wait, no,
There
as
you
me
go.
say, no, and this is reality where we have to look at human behavior. Sometimes pressure, and the pressure is that mental thing. When it starts getting to you mentally, no matter how strong you are, it can break you. It can break you.
No, I understand what you're saying, and that is true. But just before this program even finishes, I wanted to also point out that I think Mr. Brooks touched on it, and so did you a little bit.
Yeah.
A lot of times in society, men and women do it too.
Mm-hmm.
We choose partners, or we are attracted to people that blatantly, like the red
Have red
flags are
flags.
so apparent, so in our faces, and just because we feel that we're either at a level that we should acquire that person because that person fits where we are now at life or in life or whatever the case is, and you can see that no, that is not your partner, that's not your equal, or that's not your reflection, but you don't care because we're so um what's the word? We're
but
so delusional right now
but
as human beings. You know what I mean? Everything is visual, everything is just the optics and blah blah blah. And then when you are with these people and they do something that is not of you, or they hurt you, or they use you, or whatever the case is, we are not equipped to then deal with it and say, you know what, I put myself in this situation and let me just put my little tail between my legs and walk off and keep it moving. No, you're going to go into that. That's why another reason why people are killing people nowadays, because they're delusional. They're going into situations that's not your role. Why did you come out of your lane and kill yourself to go with that person when you know, say, the only reason the girl go with you is because you have a shilling? She don't like you. There is nothing about you that she's attracted to. She's only attracted to what you can give her. The moment you
it's
can't understand what I'm trying to say, and that's another thing that
mm-hmm.
we need to look into as human beings.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we're really walking around us completely with blinders on. Nobody knows what real chemistry is anymore. Real attraction is, and it's like we're completely lost the plot, in my opinion. Well, you know.
I mean, I completely agree, and I said that when I said that before, you know, you hit nail on the head. The truth is, it, and if I use this scenario, I remember I was saying to some women, a group of women once, if you met a man who is the best, who would love you better than any other man in the world would love you, you're sure about this. You're guaranteed he would love you more than any other man in the world would love you. But he's not very good looking. He's very unattractive and he's 4'5". And then you met another man, and not you met another man, and he's 6'5", very handsome. But he would not love you the best. But he would love you probably the second or third best than any other man in the world. Which would you choose? You know what all women chose? They chose the tall 6'5" man who would love them second best or third best. So I said to them, so that means, in other words, you need to recognize that anything you get with that second and third best love, you deserve. Anything
Yeah,
that man does to
it's
you,
why it
you
has to be
deserve
the
it.
third love. It's
Because
why it has to be there.
you don't want what's good, you want what looks good.
Yeah.
Right? And
True.
that's the world that we live in now. And that's why I said to you earlier, it goes back to our culture, right? It's very deep. It's much deeper than And I want it's not a one-off situation or whatever. It is our culture. We live in a culture that has told us to pay attention to what looks good over what is good. We live in a culture that's demanding of content, that loves drama. We live in a culture where people are trying to keep up with the Kardashians,
Oh yes.
right? And you have to make a decision for yourself based on principles that work, or you can run with the culture. Now you have to recognize that if you choose to run with the culture, anything that comes with it, you have to live with your consequences. So the culture of violence, for example, that we have in Jamaica, where criminality is the order of the day. Even though people say Jamaica is not a country of criminals, I said it is, and I pointed out with the music. We have to make a decision. For example, do we want to continue to listen to our violent music and say, yeah, man, it's a hype me I get. When I really, mean nothing to me, it's a hype, I just love it. You want to continue to listen to that music and 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 take the consequences of it, because the consequences are there. The young people, the young men, they listen to this music, it influences them, and they move in that direction, you know.
Yep.
And so you can choose to continue to propagate this kind of culture in your society, or you can choose to say, yo, I don't want nothing to do with that kind of violent music, and we demand that our radio stations, we demand that our government put a ban on that kind of music. Or you can say, no, I don't want to sacrifice my hype and my party and my like enjoyment
Yeah.
for making my culture better, right? And so we have to live with the consequences. The squash and all these people, the vibes cartel, the free world boss foolishness that propagates in a society where we know that the person is a criminal and we're begging to free them just because they can sing a song good. All these things, we have to live with the consequences of those actions, because what we've
Yeah.
told our younger generation is that if you are popular,
Yeah.
your actions don't have consequences. That's what we've said to them. And
The
so you see,
demigod,
we
the demigod syndrome.
exactly. And so we created this for ourselves. The question in my mind is, how do we do better? Because that's what it falls back to. We know what the situation is. We know, because everything you mentioned earlier,
Mm-hmm.
all I heard, everything. This is what I gleaned from everything you said. We have a society of men who are full of insecurities, who are incapable of admitting that they are weak, and so they have, instead of being they have weaknesses, they're so insecure and incapable of admitting their weaknesses, so that instead of sitting in front of a therapist who will have them see their weaknesses and confront them, they'd rather to go amongst other men where they can pretend like they're not weak and secretly glean some kind of motivation from the other guys, and they put up a front like they're strong. Yeah, that's all that you said to me. Because when the men get together, I can tell you this: when five or more men get together and having a loud conversation, probably a quarter of what them saying is lie. We know this all from when we were at primary school. I remember when I was in high school. I remember.
And that dead.
Yeah, the man that make me look back.
No, the truth is, I remember when I was in high school, right? When I was in high school, my I was before I lost my virginity, I was a verbal coxman. I slept with every single girl that my imagination could come up with. Every week I go back to school. Yeah, man, I was sleeping with a girl last week. Yeah, I don't know what girl crutches look like, right? But what? When you're in a situation where four other young men said that them do that last week, next week you have to come with a tail, because you're
Of
gonna look like the
course.
one man that have nothing to say, right?
Mhm.
And you don't even know. And you know what I realized, and I learned, some of my friends from high school, after high school, we still gonna talk, and I realized that nobody was lying, because them they just want to keep up with me too, right? We were all sitting there telling lies. That's what men do. They put on a front because they don't want to look weak amongst their peers, and that's fair and understandable. And so, but if we approach it like that, we have to recognize that approach is not working. You are the one that mentioned the high rate of men committing suicide as compared to women. That clearly tells us that this thing that we're doing is not working. Now, look at the fact that women, you just mentioned that women commit less suicides. You know what women do? They talk. They talk to each other. They sit down and ball to each other and tell each other all the problems we might go through. Them go to therapy. Clearly, if look at the juxtaposition. Women go to therapy, women talk about their problems. Women commit less suicides. Then maybe men need to look at that and think, this thing that we're doing, this man talk clearly is not working because we clearly man talk our barber chat talk, our bar talk is not saving the fact that we have more suicides. Clearly, it's not working. And so we can, all you pointed out for me is that men are full of insecurities. And we get that. And it's a cultural thing. And men put ourselves in positions where we we reap consequences and we're afraid and we act like we don't want to live with the consequences of our actions. The truth is, as men, we are tasked with being the leaders of the world. Right? We're tasked with being the leaders of the world. And as you mentioned, as you said there earlier, going back to basics, I'm a Christian man and I have to go to the Bible. The Bible says that we are the head of our household. And the world is made of households, right? The world is made of families. And if the men are the head of the families, it means that men are the head. And so being the head, you have a responsibility, and that responsibility is, it's in the scripture where it talks about what when a wife is expected to do for her husband, or what a husband is expected to do for his wife. The scripture says, woman, love your husband like the church loves Christ, right? Meaning that you're supposed to, just like the church obeys Christ and all these things, you're supposed to love your husband and be obedient to him and, follow his lead as a husband, just like the church obeys and follows the lead of Christ. But then what he says to the husband, he says, husband, love your wife and be willing to die for her, even as Christ died for the church. Now, the Bible never asks a woman to die for a man. It never asks a woman to die for a man. But it asks a man to die for a woman. So you see, being that head comes with responsibilities. It comes with responsibilities that you have to be willing to step up and take. You cannot take responsibilities. You cannot refuse the responsibilities and choose to be the head. That's like a king screaming to everybody that I am the king. If you're a king, if you are a real king, you'll never have to tell anybody else that you're the king. They'll know that you're the king. But men want to go around and scream that they're the king without having to say, and that's why it plays. I never have to say to my wife, you have to listen to me, She follows me because she sees a man leading, and she follows my lead. I don't tell her to lead. You think I ever tell my wife, listen to me or follow me? No, she follows my lead because she knows I'm a man leading her. If you have to demand that your woman listen to you, then you check yourself that
Yeah,
that
but
might
all
not be
right.
your woman, or you need to be checking your leadership.
But
The truth, the
And
truth. And I'll say one last sentence just to close up what I'm saying.
Mhm.
The truth of the matter is, we know the problems. What is important is the solutions. And as a man, we cannot depend on the solutions coming from our female counterparts. We have to look at what we need to do as men to improve ourselves, and then the women will follow.
yep. Submission is there, it's something that is innate in us, but we have to know who to submit to. We're not gonna submit to anything and anybody. So
I
yeah,
remember a wise man said to me one time, show me a pretty, 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 pretty woman in the world, and I'll show you a man that can't stand her, can't wait to get rid of her. And no matter how beautiful, the most beautiful woman in the world, there's one man out there, the one on to do that. He's had that. He's done with that. I tell you this, show me the most stubborn woman in the world, and I'll show you a man that she will worship the ground he walk on.
yep. Hmm. Very
You
good
know?
topic tonight. Very good topic. If I cut off, just know that I'm at 1%.
All right, Simone, it was lovely having you.
Definitely.
It was lovely having you. Daniel, Mr. Brooks, it was lovely having you here on the show.
Yes, man, it's a pleasure.
I wish we could continue on this topic, but we'll have to choose another day for this. And I will say our viewers on Twitch have been quite insightful to this situation, and this is This is, as I said, this is something that I love because it's a forum that I've engaged in to have members of my peers to
And I
discuss.
want to take the time to big up my beautiful wife, Dominique, by the way. I can't be on here and not big her up. She's the most beautiful woman in the world. Sorry, Simone. You can come in number two.
Oh, you're such a, it's a lovely thing to be in a discussion with two men that are vibrating so high. So I'm very, very happy. Thank you.
um, and as I said, people, it was a whopping discussion, and it led to knowledge. And this is what I love about this platform is that we are able to discuss these things freely and speak our mind and not having a ongoing disagreement, but at least we will sit and have agreements to understanding of each other. And it is being said by our viewers right now that they enjoyed every moment of this discussion. And yes, this is just
Lovely.
this is just a piece of it. This is just a piece of it. There's many more to come. I want to say big respect to Mr. Brooks. Big respect to Miss Simone. Miss Simone, she will be
Yes.
on the show next week on a different level because I can't tell you what she do yet. I can't tell you what she's about. That's a surprise. So, you know how that go. Yeah, look like Simone get chopped off. Mr. Brooks, it was lovely. It was lovely having you. Pass the
It's
link,
a pleasure
spread
to
the
be on the
word.
show.
If you get a chance, you can subscribe if you want. Only 4.99. But big up to your lovely wife, and I'll see you again. We know tomorrow is all about Vibes Tech Thursday. Little more, Daniel. We talk.
All right. Bye bye.
All right. All right, my people, my people, my people. It was so interesting. It was so intriguing. And as Keisha said, it has been a platform of engagement and responsible adults speaking upon discussions of the mind, of the current events and the state of the days that we're living in. And we're able to talk. You understand me? We're free to speak our minds. And I love that and I love that. So there's many more to come. There's more to come. I want to say big respect again to Daniel and his wife out there. I want to say big respect to Miss Simone. I will see you again next week, Wednesday, Simone. Red Girl, big up yourself over there in Belize. You and the family. Big respect, love and respect. Keisha out there in Connecticut. Love and respect, girl. Love and respect. Natty, I know you wish you could have engaged with us, but you know it go. I want to say big up to Samo. Big up to Mark. I want to say big up to everybody. Norwegian girl. Everybody who dep on the live today. Anywhere you are in the world. Everybody on Graffiti MSI Live Radio. Oh yes, it was splendid. And I said, big respect to everybody. As you say, we're keeping it current. We're keeping it upbeat. If you can and if you will, subscribe. Only 4.99. It only helps us to grow. It only helps us to establish and put us out there in the world and let the world know what we have to offer here on Graffiti MSI Live Radio, here on the Takeover Show. I want to say shout out to Dallas Immigration and Real Estate. We'll be having those discussions soon. So people, we're only going up to the top. That's where we're going. So for all my peoples out there who have want to ask questions on immigration and also on real estate in the States, I'll be having that put together quite soon. So look out for that real estate talk, immigration talk. We're going to put it down on a flat. We're going to get it done. I want to say big respect. I'm closing off the night as much as I started late. You understand me? But I'm going to get sure I go to some information. You see, information when I feel pay for, I bring it right on the foot. All right, my people, information that you have to pay for, I will be bringing it right at your foot here on the Takeover Show each and every Wednesday from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time. But sometime I will go overboard if the topic is interesting. Let me say it properly. If the topic is interesting and the topic is real. You understand me? I'll do it for all y'all. As me say, if you're on the Twitch, if you can subscribe, only $4.99. I love that. If you're following, follow. Do remember to share the link. My peeps, do remember tomorrow it's all about VIBEZ Thursday. Tomorrow the dance. So all who want to come at the dance tomorrow the dance, make sure to bring the liquor money and all of that, because tomorrow the live will be up again from 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern time. And you know, if the dance ram up the right way, we'll be going overboard. But I want to say big respect. Thank you guys. When I don't even understand, as I say, I always pour out my heart. I appreciate you guys so much. Even for my new viewers, my new followers. Dollars, you know, they need to check over upon the Twitch very soon. As I say, all of my new viewers, all of my followers, I'm doing this for y'all. You have helped me to embark on knowledge and to ascertain these knowledge, to pass it on to you, to ascertain the persons to engage with you on these topics. You know, sending a dibby something over. Yes, so we're going to do it, and we're going to do it good. Cool. As I say, no topic is limited. No topic is off-bound. We will speak. We will have a discussion. And we'll have resolution at the end of the day. So do remember, as I said, tomorrow, VIBEZ Thursday. You know the vibe. You know the energy. And do remember, next week, Wednesday, it's all about the Takeover show from 8 to 10 Eastern time. Make sure you find me. You know, this is your boy DJ 50. And it was a joy having you all here with me. And I love you all. Anyway, they in the world, I love you. I love all of you. All through the Caribbean, all through the States, Europe, Canada. This is my time. And you know, I will see you tomorrow at the dance, VIBEZ Thursday. So this is DJ 50 on the Takeover show. And you know, we're out.
Take us to work. Take us on the go. Take us wherever you go. Graffitiemsi Live Radio.